Well, turning to our community now, today our viewers are rolling up their sleeves and saving lives. Channel 2's Give to Live blood drive is well underway at the Atlantis, which is where we find Kristen live tonight. Kristen, this is our 8th year, so how does this one compare?
Yes. Pretty darn good, Wendy. Impressive start for sure. We're at about 160 units of blood right now. A couple hours to go. Last year we collected about 203 units of blood, if my memory serves me correctly. And United Blood Services believes we're well on track to beat that number this year. I have to say a lot of familiar faces came back for this 8th event. And there were a lot of first-time blood donors as well, which is always great to see. But before we talk about why they donate, I want to introduce you to a boy who is alive and thriving right now, thanks in part to the generosity of blood donors, much like those in this room. Nate Christie cherishes his time in the pool.
It's a fun sport. It works all your muscles.
And his swim coach Holly couldn't be prouder of him.
Excellent work, honey. Good job. Wow. Good breathing, too.
Especially considering just a couple months ago, the 9-year-old was in a coma. In January, Nate started feeling pretty sick.
He was complaining that his stomach was bothering him.
It felt sort of like a stomach ache, but it was worse than it. And I knew I had to go into the hospital because I have never had something like it before. They did a CAT scan, and then my appendix was about to burst, so they had to do surgery on it.
But that routine appendectomy went horribly wrong.
It took him a little longer to recover, and then we were discharged, and he became septic.
As a result, Nate spent 5 months in the hospital, needed several surgeries, and was in a medically induced coma. The community rallied behind him and became Nate Strong for his family, who never left his side.
It was pretty scary day after day, just wondering if he was going to make it.
Especially when his platelet levels dropped. Nate needed blood transfusions, and quickly. Michelle was desperate to donate her own, but as Nate's nurse explained, they were racing the clock.
She said, you know, there's not time, Michelle. Like, there isn't time. He needs this to survive.
And thanks to the generosity of complete strangers, Nate received not one, but a handful of blood transfusions. And although his family will never know who they are,
it was a huge blessing. It ended up being something I am forever grateful for. It's a miracle. I'm so thankful.
The soon-to-be 4th grader is thankful too. Although he doesn't remember much in the hospital, he knows he couldn't do it alone. So at the end of the school year, Nate's family organized a blood drive at his school to say thanks and to give back.
Since it will save people's lives, since someone saved mine.
So, if you couldn't make it to Nate's blood drive, tonight's the night. We'll be down here at the Atlantis until 7 o'clock, and all donors will be entered into a raffle to win a new car. So come on down here. We'd love to see you. Wendy, I'm going to get ready to donate myself. I'll see you back here in a half hour sitting in that chair. Until then, covering the Give to Live blood drive live at the Atlantis, I'm Kristen Remington, Channel 2 News.
Roll up.